I didn't hear the re. Okay, yeah, so it looks like all my alerts are down. Where the... What did we do last time? I don't have a map of this area. Oh shit, that's right. We're like outside of Heather's house. Wherever the house is. But this is my place. Why should I leave the apartments? I don't know. Because I don't know where the apartment is, Heather.
Dad, I'm home. Listen, something really crazy's going on. I think we should... Dad? Dad?
Someone killed Harry.
No. No.
I need 200 more chromosomes to do the funny. I mean, I would just save up on your chromosomes if the sound alerts aren't working today. I did start stream a little bit earlier than usual, but when I loaded up my Streamlabs, there was like this tiny, like microscopic, like red bar that I could see, and it said something about like refresh, please.
Do this?
You're late.
But why? Why?
Revenge for 17 years ago, for one thing. If not for him, our dream would have come true. And then he took you away from us.
I'll kill you, you bitch!
There is another reason. To fill your heart with hatred. It must be this way. One day you'll understand why.
No, I'll never understand!
You must try to remember me, and your true self as well. You will birth a god and build an eternal paradise. He's the one who killed your father. I merely gave the order. So, what will you do? I'll be waiting where all begins.
Well, I mean, that thing's just a creature, so I mean,
In the
just
tower
shoot her
of
instead,
Silent
honestly.
Hill.
Plant a bullet right in her head and then just fucking mow this thing down. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying. Yeah, when I loaded up my Streamlabs, for some reason the sound alerts, were just not working at all. There was this red bar that pretty much said that, like, hey doofus, refresh the application to get these to work. Something's going awry here. Oh boy, I have absolutely 0 fucking bullets. And I still didn't switch my item. Man, did I ever mention how much I fucking hate melee in games like this? I love enemies that are, like, way faster than, like, the playable character. And I have absolutely, like, no ammo for this fight. Oh, game, I can absolutely run away. I have no fucking ammo. So, pretty much, like, the theme of this game is, it's just more of, like, what happened after the first Silent Hill game. Bro, and he dodges fucking melee attacks? It's Silent Hill. This isn't, like, a respectable fucking, like, game where I need to have this intense boss fight. Combat is kind of like an afterthought in this game. Like, why have an enemy that's, like, way fucking faster than this actual character? It'd be one thing if the combat in this game was actually decent, but it's not. It's just point and shoot. But yeah, this game is pretty much just like a continuation of like the first game. Which, like, it's cool and all. I don't really see why the third game had to be connected to, the first one. I think this is, like, the only Silent Hill game where, like, some of the stories, like, intertwine a little bit. Because other than that, I think literally all the other ones are just, like, separate characters with separate issues and stuff like that. There's not really, like, any repeat characters. Get punked. Yeah, bro, I wish they would just release the remake for the second game already. Speaking of games, Jared, did you see, I guess this just implies to everybody, but, did you guys see the, like, top 6 games that are, like, in contender for, like, Game of the Year? No, there's no release date yet. The only thing I heard is that the game is practically, like, already finished. Most of the work has already been done for it. They're just waiting for, like, an official release date. Okay, so I think my assumption was right, that the light is causing this thing to, like, freak out. So I think it is actually better to fight him with the light off. But, yeah, me and my fiance were talking about it, that, yeah, I'm pretty sure, this was actually gonna lead right into what I was talking about. That, I think all 6 of those games that are up there are, 2 of them are, like, each represented by, like, console. So, like, I'm pretty sure Sony is being represented by, obviously Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake. And then we have RE, whatever the fuck the other one was. Baldur's Gate, there we go. And then 2 Nintendo games. Or at least that's just how I saw it. Alan Wake PS exclusive? I don't think it's a PS exclusive, but I think maybe it originally started out as a PS2 exclusive. Because I think when the first Alan Wake game came out, it was on PS2.
I'm fine, so just get out of here and leave me alone already!
Calm down. I just...
Calm down? How am I supposed to do that? My father is dead. He's murdered. Get out! This is all your fault. If it weren't for you,
I'm... sorry.
then go!
If it'll make you feel better, I will.
That's where the song is from? I have no idea, man.
Is he okay like this?
What else can I do? There's no one here to give him a decent burial. I'm sorry, Dad.
What'll you do now?
I'm going to Silent Hill.
What's in Silent Hill?
I don't know.
You think it's safe?
Of course it isn't. I don't know what kind of hell is waiting for me there, but I've got no other choice. paradise. If that's what she believes, then fine. But she won't get away with what she did. When I find her, I'll kill her myself.
Revenge doesn't solve anything.
Maybe not, but that's what I'm gonna do.
How you gonna get there?
None of your business.
I'll give you a ride.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, but it's too far to walk. Besides, I'm partly responsible for this. Look, I'll bring the car round back. Come out when you finish saying goodbye.
You know, you might die too.
That's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over my grave anyway.
Keep in mind that this is a teenager. Fucking Heather is such a badass. Man, I really like... I ain't got much left. Don't worry, Dad. I will honor the family with my katana. While you were busy talking to women, I was busy studying the blade. I'll find that woman and make her pay. I promise I will. I wonder if my dad would be mad at me for thinking that way. This is the closet, nothing to do here. Yeah, the creature really did suck up, like, all my resources. There are books on the table, just like his usual detective novels. My dad loved them. I don't think it's a Ghost of Tsushima meme. That's a pretty, like, old one. I think it's just supposed to be, like, a neckbeard kind of, like, meme. I don't remember exactly when. But I think I got this doll at a garage sale. I still like it, but there's nothing I can do with it right now. I'm exhausted, but I don't think I can sleep now. Besides, Douglas should be waiting for me outside. I didn't even know his name was Douglas. I got a stun gun. This is my dresser. I don't need the change. I'll leave it alone. You want to rethink that, Heather? You know, like, I get Jill was on the run from, like, Nemesis and shit. But, has she had multiple opportunities to get her clothes changed in-game and just refused to? Your drip isn't dripping. The faucet's on, but nothing's coming out. Alright, now how do I get out of here?
I just met some guy named Vincent.
Vincent?
He's a friend of yours, right?
I'm not sure.
He said when we get to Silent Hill, to look for a guy named Leonard.
My name is
Give
Leonard.
me his map. What do you want to do?
We can't trust him, but we've got no other choice.
take this too.
I thought he was like itching his balls.
Your father was holding it. Started raining. Are you sleeping?
I'm awake.
You cold? What's the deal with Silent Hill anyway? Used to be a nice, quiet little town. But now...
You've been there?
Once, on a missing persons case. Never did find him. But I tell you, that's one screwed up town. My line of work, you hear a lot of nasty rumors.
I was born and raised there.
Sorry. Didn't mean to offend you.
No offense taken.
Anyway, I thought you grew up in Portland. What's wrong? You feeling sick?
My head's pounding, like the worst hangover ever.
Maybe you're car sick.
No, I'm just trying to remember. My childhood. Something terrible happened in Silent Hill 17 years ago. A woman named Dahlia, she tried to summon the ancient god of the town. She offered up her very own daughter.
That's crazy.
Maybe so, but it worked. The girl gave birth to a god.
Huh?
You see, the girl had special powers.
Powers?
Her classmates called her a witch. She could make things happen with her mind. She could kill people just by wishing for it. But in the end, that god was killed by a single person. My father, Harry Mason. I guess it wasn't much of a god if it could be killed by a human being. But I think Claudia's trying to do the same thing again. And I've been chosen as the sacrifice.
You've got some kind of power in you too?
After the god was killed, the girl reappeared. She was holding a baby in her arms. Before she died, she gave the baby to my father. He loved me just like I was his very own daughter. Even though he didn't know who or what I was. It was so sudden. I'd never had a chance to tell you. Tell you how happy you made me.
Man, this story's kind of sad.
gonna head for that Leonard guy's house. You check out the hospital. You got the map, right?
Yeah.
You gonna be okay alone?
I'm not a child, you know. Are you sure it's not you who's afraid to be alone?
You're right. I am afraid. I'm 50-something years old, and I've never seen nothing like this. I feel like I'm dreaming.
More like a nightmare, I'd say.
Yeah. I want to wake up and have a smoke already. Meet me back here when you're finished looking around the hospital, okay?
Roger.
Man, that was like really sad. High voltage to zap the bad guys. It has to touch them though, so it's very short ranged. And it seemed like it took batteries too, so I probably won't be using that very much. Oh, that's right. It says I got some memos. Fairy tale last page. I was gonna say, where's that book? There it is. Dad wrote about my past in here. As always, this should have been novelized. I hope this will never come to any use. Maybe it's better if you never know. More than anything else, I feel the possibility of your going away, far from me. But sometimes we have to tell the truth. That's why I'm writing this, before I'm lost in death and oblivion. What happened back then, that has something to do with who you are. It all started 24 years ago. Coming back from vacation, my wife and I found a baby on the side of the highway. Since we were childless, we thanked God for letting us meet this child, this girl. We took her home. 3 years later, my wife died, and another 4 years later, 17 years ago, I came to Silent Hill. I heard the girl's pleas and took her with me, not knowing why she wanted to go there. And it was there that the girl went away. Not that she actually went anywhere, nor did she die. Returned to her original self. That's what Dahlia Gillespie said. Original self, that was the young woman burned by her mother as a sacrifice to God, Alessia Gillespie, or however you say her last name. Half her soul escaped in those flames and went on to live in a baby, in that girl of mine, of yours. 7 years passed before half a girl returned to Silent Hill and made Alessia whole again. Newly strengthened, she vowed to kill the god. God, a fetus nestled in the sacrificial girl's womb, was summoned with the usual rites. This was Alessia's wish, no matter what the outcome, even if her own existence were at stake. But that wish was not granted. My interruption meant she prayed instead of the girl's return. I alone couldn't bring her back. Dahlia did it. I only helped at the birthing ceremony to bring God out of Alessia. The newly born God wailed once and was dead. All from that girl's, and probably Alessia's conscious resistance. That's not the end. After God had vanished in a glow of light, Alessia reappeared and gave me a baby. She looked a lot like that girl so long ago. And then Alessia was gone, dead. There was nothing I could have done to help. I simply clutched the baby to my chest and ran off. The whole thing felt like a dream, but I had proof that it wasn't. The girl was nowhere to be found, and in my arms, the baby. Now 17 years have passed. It feels like only yesterday, and again, feels like a million years ago. I confessed I had reservations at first about raising that baby. Could I love her? Her existence was thoroughly unexplained. I thought she could be that young woman who snatched away my beloved daughter. That led to sadness, anger. There were times when I put my hand around her tiny little throat. Several times I even considered abandoning her. That's what a terrible person I am. But I decided to raise her after all. I just couldn't seem to let her go. When she, when you look at me, you laugh. So, even now, I can't forget about that girl. But I love you. I have no doubts about that. That's all I ask you to believe. To my precious daughter, Harry Mason. And again, just kind of sad. But I think that's, like, the thing that makes this such a compelling and, like, a good story, though. Because, like, the other Silent Hill games are good. Like I said, Silent Hill 2 is still a banger. I know Silent Hill 2 is, like, a lot of people's favorites when it comes to, like, when it comes to the series. Personally, I've always thought that Silent Hill 3 was the best in the series. It's kind of like the only game that's really, like, a direct continuation from, like, events from prior games. Which I think is nice. It adds, like, a whole extra layer of, like, story to it. Because, like, although you can kind of, like, relate to Harry a little bit, and, like, his actions and, like, wanting to, like, find his daughter and stuff like that in the first game, with the limitations of, like, the PlayStation 1 and just, like, how in full truth how mediocre the writing is, you just don't really feel too much about, like, his daughter being missing. You just don't feel much about, like, a character that you just only see for, like, 5 seconds in-game. In the very beginning, you see her, like, run off. You're only ever given the context that, like, she's supposed to be the main character's daughter. But, like, when there's just kind of no build-up or no real, like, anything, there's just, like, there's just no reason to really feel anything for that character. Whereas with, like, Silent Hill 3, you're piggybacking off of the events of, like, the first game. If you're able to, like, piece the first game together and, like, you have a good grasp of the story, you essentially have, like, a good general idea of what's going on in this game. I'm gonna unequip the bulletproof vest because I am just so slow now. Yeah, I definitely think that's what makes Silent Hill 3, like, such a good game. But admittedly, it is a game that is, like, better appreciated and better enjoyed if you have, like, context of the first game. But other than that, though, you can play essentially, like, any of the Silent Hill games. You can play them completely out of order if you wanted to. And, like, you can still have fun with the series because it's just different games every time. Now, something of immediate concern to me right now is I'm not seeing very many resources lying about. I'm pretty sure this back alley is actually, like, the way to the hospital. At least speedrunning this section of the game is going to be a little bit easy since it is just reused assets from the second game. It's just kind of weird that I'm surprised it didn't make the likeness a little bit more closer to the first game. It's almost like they just used the layout of the second game just because it was there at the time. Oh, there was another road back. I was gonna say, I need to get to the hospital, right? I could have swore this was like the road I needed to go down. I feel like I definitely made the game a lot more difficult for myself. Not like conserving ammo. Oh, at least the bar is still open. First aid kit, beef jerky. It's a tourism pamphlet. I had forgotten it, but it's true. Silent Hill was originally a resort town. Welcome to Silent Hill. Silent Hill, a quiet little lakeside resort town. We're happy to have you take some time out of your busy schedules and enjoy a nice, restful vacation here. Row after row of quaint old houses, a gorgeous mountain landscape, and a lake which shows different sides of its beauty with the passing of the day, from sunrise to late afternoons to sunset. Silent Hill will move you and fill you with a feeling of deep peace. I hope your time here will be pleasant and your memories will last forever. Editor, Roger Widmark. Or as I call him, Roger Skidmark.